Hello once again, everyone, and welcome to Cruisnick Sanctuary. I'm your host, Cruisnick X. Once again, we are playing Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker and partaking in all the newest things released in patch 6.4. Alongside me for the ride are Arya Stormborn.
Literally at the moment.
Lord Fyrax.
Oh, hello. How are you? I did not see you there.
And Corlash.
Watch out for the Lale-Lule-Lo.
The Lale-Lule-Lo?
This is
Yes.
not Metal Gear Solid. Don't make me have to bring out my Solid Snake voice. Because I like doing it.
Please no.
Anyways, fuck, what are we doing?
We were talking about the...
Success!
Yeah.
Fuck you
Great,
guys.
you broke him.
Fuck you guys.
I don't have enough
Good.
glue to put him, I don't have enough glue to put him back together.
Anyways, we are...
Duct tape fixes everything.
Anyways, tonight we are doing the newest variant dungeon released in patch 6.45, Mount Rokon. Now, in order to unlock this, we have to talk to Shallow Moor here, so let's get right down to it with the level 90 quest, Mononoke Aware. Your timing is impeccable, Chris. How do you manage to do that? An intriguing job has been laid at our feet, and the client insists you be the one to take it up. That client? Why, it's none other than the East Aldenard Trading Company. Oh, of course it is. The missive was dispatched. The missive was dispatched from the Kugane branch rather than Lord Lolorito's offices, but it nevertheless carries the piquant scent of moneyed interests. Care to give it a read? Okay, let's see what this is all about. Dear Chris, in the self-same spirit of friendship which has defined our every interaction to date, it is my pleasure to extend to you a humble invitation. 'Tis because of your endearing efforts to save this star that we may benefit from this rarest of opportunities. For it was in service to your noble quest to build the good ship Ragnarok that I was able to forge a fruitful bond between myself and another of Hingashi's elites. This lord has seen fit to grant me, and a guest of my choosing, leave to go where few Aegean have tread, beyond the bounds of Kugane, to the sacred slopes of Mount Rokon itself. I cannot overstate the significance of this gesture, nor the allure of sights heretofore unseen by Western eyes. Nor is it an exaggeration to say that no one is more deserving of this boon than your magnanimous self. I eagerly await your reunion at the gates of the Bokairo Inn. Your ever faithful servant, Hancock Fitzgerald. His last name is Fitzgerald?
That's what I was wondering about, actually, oddly enough.
There's flattery, and then there's this. Laid it on a bit thick, did he? I'd expect no less of a consummate merchant. Not too proud to debase himself when sufficient profit's at stake. Still, there may be a crumb of sincerity beneath that slathering of honeyed words. And if not, you still stand to benefit from playing along. You'll be heading to Kugane then, I take it? You know it. Perfect. I'll send word that you're on your way. Fair fortune and safe travels. You'd best come back with plenty of stories to tell. You hear? Okay, let's do this.
A traveling, a teleporting, poof.
And we've already got a teleport offer to Kugane, so we might as well take it.
To the Bokairo Inn. The destination. is on your left.
I'm just gonna
Turn
run in
around.
here right quick. Give us a second.
You're not at
Are
your
you-
destination.
Yeah, I know I'm not at my destination, numbnuts.
Oh, hey now, children.
I wanted to go into my glamour dresser right quick. I have so many, like, unneeded... I'm gonna need to clean out my inventory later.
Inventory? What is this word you speak of that implies that?
Alright, Ari, are you gonna join us, or what?
Yes, sorry. Oh, some of us are trying to plot things.
World conquest?
More like trying to prevent the best friend from having a shitty birthday.
Oh. That's also good. Preventing shitty
Yeah.
birthdays is also good.
Well, she was...
Take the Ethernet.
She was supposed to go on a trip, but then the ball joint on the vehicle went kaput. So, kind of put a damper on things. And she has a tendency to get depressed on her birthday anyway, so. I like to prevent that if I can.
Okay.
And you know it's gotta be bad when the husband contacts you and says, I need ideas.
Alright. Let's, go to the destination now.
What is at the destination?
Hancock.
Yeah, pretty much Hancock. Ah, my dear Chris. Who would have thought that the spinner would see us reunited so soon? You'll be pleased to hear that no one of the charlatans have attempted to masquerade as Tenzin's progeny in the interim. Well, that's good? I don't know. As you can see, preparations for our journey are well underway. Partial though I am to the traditional hinging komodo, if we are to climb a mountain, 'twould be prudent to do so in comfort as well as style.
Wahaha.
Kill. But I presume you would rather discuss matters of greater import than my attire. Fear not. My capable associates are ready and eager to brief you on the challenge ahead.
Cool.
We have reserved the finest chambers of the inn for the occasion, so let us reconvene away from all the hustle and bustle, shall we?
Yes, let's go to the inn.
Aria, would you like to do the honors?
Master Hancock. Master Chris. We are most grateful for your aid in this matter. I am Tsubaki, and my Onmyoji Yoji?
Yeah.
Onmyoji. Onmyoji companion is called Tokimori. We are come to Kugane on behalf of Lord Ozumibi, who presides over Mount Rokon and the surrounding lands.
His lordship is the one I mentioned in my missive. Hearing of my interest in Far Eastern treasures, he knew at once that I would find the lure of the sacred peak irresistible. Ah, but I forget that you are not as familiar with these lands as I. Let us begin with the basics and expound upon the finer points as we go. To orient our destination in your mind's eye, we must first review Hingashi's geography. Of the many islands which comprise this nation, it is here on the western coast of Shishu, where Kugane serves as our shining beacon of commerce. Mount Rokon, meanwhile, can be found far from our beloved city of trade. Here, in the northeastern corner of the isle, upon the slopes of the sacred mountain sits Shoujo Temple, a monastery where monks gathered to train their bodies and souls. Alas, in defiance of this holy purpose, a horde of otherworldly demons have claimed the temple as their own. His lordship suspects that a collection of accursed treasures is to blame for this infestation. In the Far East, you see, 'tis believed that well-preserved objects may come to possess living souls after a time. These vessels turned kami are known as Tsukumogami. A Tsukumogami may attract or even beget other spirits. These Mononoke clearly have no regard for the sanctity of the mount, and so Lord Uzumibe desires a swift resolution. Compassionate soul that I am, I could not bear to stand idly by. But as men of wealth and influence, base altruism is beneath us both, so I offer to aid his lordship in a manner befitting our stations, by brokering a mutually beneficial arrangement. Simply put, should I find a way to rid the mountain of Mononoke, I may lay claim to any accursed treasures that I find. One man's trash is another man's takaramono. That's hanging for treasure, by the way. And here, my friend, is where you come in. During our jaunts to the mountain, you will serve as my bodyguard and slay any monstrous Mononoke we encounter. In exchange, you shall become one of the blessed few to bear witness to the wonders and terrors of Mount Rokon. A fair deal, yes? I've always wanted to explore more of Higashi. That's our warrior of light. I knew you wouldn't disappoint. Now that the matter of Chris's participation is settled, might I inquire as to the current owner of these items, Mr. Tsubaki?
The treasures were brought into the temple on behest of Gorai, the head monk. Though his disciples doubt not his intentions were pure, his actions have brought them great misfortune. Like you, Master Hancock, Gorai was an avid collector of antiques and claimed that the Tsukumogami who dwelled within them ought to be worshipped. Driven by this reverent belief, he purchased all manner of items he deemed worthy of veneration. But as his collection grew, so too did certain troubling phenomena. An unholy shadow began to loom over the sacred mountain, and under this wicked veil were the Mononoke emboldened to break their fetters. Fearing for their lives, the monks had no choice but to flee. Their home was defiled by the demons. We could not allow the scourge to spread further, and sent our strongest warriors to slay the fiends, but few returned. Knowing that victory could not be attained by our forces alone, my lord bade us employ magics to contain the threat. Tokimori is one of the valiant few who returned from the temple. 'Tis thanks to his diligent reports that we know aught of Mount Rokon's present state.
Anybody want to take on Tokimori?
Alright, let's see. Oh, Tokimori. Our orders were to find Gorai and convince him to part ways with his treasures. But our pleas fell on deaf ears. He was like unto an animal. I suspect any semblance of reason has left him. Though the seal was placed upon the mountain endures, the Mononoke have an ample time to corrupt the souls of those who could not make their escape. Should you encounter any survivors, do not show them a modicum of mercy. 'Tis too late.
Well, this should be fun.
We have prepared our strongest falcons. Their keepers shall await you by the Bokasan hot springs, and will summon the birds once your preparations are complete. A word of cautions. The falcons fear the Mononoke, and will refuse to fly close to the temple. They shall bring you to the foot of the mountain, but no further. Beyond that point, you will have to climb.
How
Wow.
convenient.
This should be fun. Many thanks, my friend. Now then, if we are to support soon, I think it's best we feast to our heart's content. One cannot slay demons on an empty stomach. Okay, let us speak with Tsubaki.
My thanks once again for your assistance, Master Chris. Master Hancock had some business matters to attend to before your expedition. Once you are ready, I shall summon him. I feel compelled to warn you. Even in times of peace, the climb up Mount Rokon is not for the faint of heart. I suggest you procure sufficient provisions if you have not done so, and ensure that your equipment is in working order. Tokimori's disciples have been tasked with maintaining the mountain's wards. They will open for you upon your arrival. Speak with our falconer when you wish to depart. Though I must remain here, I shall be praying for your success.
Mount Rokon, now accessible. Alright, we are going to take a quick break, and we will be back with the first part of Mount Rokon. If you're watching on Twitch, stay tuned for more, but if you haven't done it yet, hit that follow button and turn on notifications so you're well informed. If you're watching on YouTube and you like this video, click the like button below and leave a comment. Subscribe by clicking here and click the bell icon for notifications. Click here to watch more, click here to watch the entirety of the Endwalker playlist, and click here to watch the next episode when it comes out. We will see you in a bit.